We're about to venture out into Zagreb again, but before we do that, I want to see the cannon blast. So we mentioned in the last video how in the Loderskak Tower, every single day at noon, they launch a cannon blast. So I want to get as close to the tower as I possibly can and just see how loud this is up close. Well then, I guess I should have expected it given that it's a cannon, but it was very loud and I was right underneath it. My ears are probably gonna be ringing all day, so if you do come to it, maybe bring some earplugs for ear protection. Pretty cool experience, and especially how that tower is just right on top of that hill that we were on yesterday with that amazing view. And then of course right after, since it's noon, you could probably still hear it, the church bells are going off. That was really cool. The whole vibe was awesome and very medieval. I think probably my favorite part was going past that tour guide, and I don't know if it picked up on the video, but he was saying, like, if you really want to pull a great practical joke, bring someone here that hasn't been here before and hasn't read about the tower, and just bring them up there at noon without mentioning anything and just see their reaction. I thought that was pretty funny too. Okay, now time to head back to the apartment and see what Sydney's up to, and we are gonna show you around Zagreb once more. So today we're focusing more on the lower town area, which feels a lot more like a general European city that you would see. So when you're in the old town, the capital, upper town area, it just feels a lot more medieval, feels a lot more like from a different time. But then when you're down here, it just feels like a more general European city that you would think of. So we're gonna show you around here. There's cool museums, cool statues, cool parks, and we're gonna have a good time showing you around today.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
We just found out there is free Wi-Fi in the city.
Citywide.
So that's something that we haven't really needed because we've had SIM cards, but that's actually so helpful and good to know.
So yesterday when we were separated, we could have used that to reconnect, but luckily we found each other anyway.
Yeah.
Rocking my shoe. There it is. So as we're making our way more south, we've kind of just been exploring this part of Zagreb that we haven't really seen too much of yet. So they call it the Horseshoe. It's not actually called the Horseshoe, but it's a collection of parks that kind of just makes like that squared U shape. There's a lot of like museums and theaters and stuff like that kind of sprinkled through, and statues for sure. This statue that's right behind us, so we'll get to the front of it because right now you can just see a horse's butt. But this is King Tomislav, who is the first king of Croatia. So we're gonna go around to the other side and show you what that looks like.
I love walking around here because so many people are just out with their friends,
Yeah.
hanging about, playing, what is that, bocce ball? They're just having a coffee, having a cigarette on a bench. And I was thinking about, like, when was the last time we even went to a park just like hang out with friends? I mean, maybe a couple times during COVID, but that is one aspect of culture here that's just like so cool. People legit feed the birds here.
So this is the edge of the east side of the Horseshoe, and this is King Tomislav behind me. Another cool part about this area is we're right by the train station, the Glavni Kolodvor, I think that's called. And this is where a lot of people, if they're coming into the city for the day, whether it's from a different part of Croatia or a different part of Europe, they're gonna come through this train station. So as soon as they get off the train, this is the first thing they see. And there's, you know, all of this around us as well. It's a pretty cool welcome to Zagreb.
So we've made it to the bottom southeast corner of the Horseshoe Park. We're gonna head west to see what else we can find.
The US.
Nice. I'm not from here as well. I'm from the same community. I'm French.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
If you need anything else, okay, let me know.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
How many like lattes or cups of coffee is socially acceptable in the afternoon in Europe? Because I feel like people just go there and hang out for hours, and usually when we go to the coffee shop we're just like a one and done type people, but I'd like to know, so drop it down below.
So another really important thing to mention about Croatia, there actually is a separate currency here from the euro, similar to if you saw Romania and Bulgaria content. So this right here is Croatian Kuna. The official abbreviation is HRK. The first night we were here, we didn't really look into the whole exchange rate and everything, and our bill came, and our bill was 245 Croatian Kuna. So at first I was kind of like, whoa, just based on unit bias, you look at that and you're like, okay, that seems really expensive. But actually, a Croatian Kuna is around 14 cents in USD. That meal was about $35. It's very, very affordable here. The prices are awesome, and they've got their own currency, so just something to be aware of if you're getting into the airport. You will have to, if you want to use cash, you will have to take some out of the ATM or exchange it. So we don't actually completely know what Croatian food entails. We've heard it's, you know, similar to a lot of the other Balkan countries, as far as like, there's gonna be some bread, there's gonna be some meat, there's gonna be some cheese, probably a little bit of Mediterranean flair, but we're gonna be surprised.
Looking forward to being surprised.
When we were first coming here, like all the different places, they don't seem to be Croatian food. So I almost wonder if we're more in like the touristy district.
I know.
Yeah, we've seen like a lot of Indian food, we've seen like Thai food, we've seen, what else?
Yeah, there's a street full of like any cuisine you could ever think of. So that's been cool to have access to.
Oh, we did hear about a dessert, kind of a dessert, called Strukli. So I think we're gonna be trying that as well.
That's the only Croatian food that we know of.
Pretty much. We didn't really do our research like we should have, but it's a sticking point for us. Every country we go to, we want to try some authentic cuisine from the country. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So the actual bread part is like so soft because with this cream that it's cooked in, like it just kind of melts.
So there's a savory and a sweet Strukli. We just had the savory for an appetizer. I think it's safe to say we'll be getting the dessert, which is the sweet one.
Can I ask one favor. Can you write about us on
Absolutely.
Instagram or TripAdvisor?
Definitely, will do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Puno hvala.